On the earlier video, I talked about which to start with, but now I'm going to explain a bit about Photoshop, Illustrator, and Figma. Now, first of all, there is something in the graphic design field you talk about raster and vector. Raster, R-A-S-T-E-R, and vector, V-E-C-T-O-R. Now, Adobe Illustrator is a vector tool. Photoshop is a raster tool, and Figma is a vector tool. That is what it is. Now, then Canva, it's more or less a raster plus a Figma, raster plus vector tool. So that's why I said it's like automatic. Figma, it's actually kind of both, but it's more of a vector. Now, what are vector images? Vector images are images that no matter how you increase the sizes, they still maintain their quality. I think you've seen that a lot, even just on websites with text or whatever. You see that no matter how you zoom, or some logos, when you see logos online, no matter how you zoom it still maintains its quality. It doesn't give you that pixelated like little box you have on images when you zoom images. It doesn't really have it because it's a vector. That is what it is. So vectors are more or less, you see icons, you understand, not images, but more of icons and some sort of designs that no matter how you zoom, it will not lose its quality. That is vector. And so Illustrator is specifically used for doing that. So when you want to, for example, do logo designs, you fall back to Illustrator because vector logos are vector design. So if you want to build a very nice logo that stands out, you have to use Illustrator. That's it. Then Photoshop, like I said, it's raster. Raster is like pixelated. So if you zoom, you begin to see those little boxes that compromises of the image. So photos, when you snap photos, they are made up of pixels. That's very little boxes, which then forms the image. So that is what Photoshop is for. So Photoshop actually doesn't really support vector. The only way you can actually, for example, create a vector design is when you create the vector design from Illustrator and possibly transfer it to Photoshop. But understand something, that you cannot use Photoshop to create a design, whether it's an icon or whatever, that when you save it, you can be able to zoom out or zoom in at any time. You won't be able to do that. You can only do that with Illustrator, and that's it. And you can also do that too with Figma. Figma is more of a vector too. So Figma is more like I wouldn't say a competitor, but a sibling to Illustrator. But what Figma is mainly used for is for digital designs, like when you want to do a design for a website, you want to do a design for a software, not the code, the design, the outlook, how it should look like. You use Figma these days for it. You can actually do that with Illustrator too, but Figma has more robust features that actually supports the modern need of digital designs, for that's designing a website, designing a software. You understand? Not coding, design, just design. So when you talk about coding is when, for example, this is a design. To change this to a functional code, I have to then replicate these designs with code. You understand? So the work of the designer is to actually create a design that the developer can replicate to actually make it a functional, if it's a website or a functional software. That's what it is. So you give the developer a creative direction. I hope you get that. So that's how it is. So if you are one who wants to go into building designs, whether it's software designs or website designs for developers, then you can actually go with this. So if you want to design a mobile app that a developer can then turn into a full a functional mobile app, then you can actually go with Figma. So if you are on that trajectory, then go with Figma. But if you are one, you love photos, you love making some kind of design, flyer designs, and that has a bit of photo blending, there are things Photoshop does that it actually can only be done some sort of in Photoshop. Then Illustrator, if you know you are one who wants to be doing things like logos, or you want to create just designs that icons, you call them icons, not having to do with images, but just icons, like you see digital paintings, you understand. These are icons, these are you get, not pictures. Then go with Illustrator. So the thing is, every designer has one strength. That's what you should understand. Canva is not, I do not consider Canva as a strength of design. Canva is a mix of both vector and raster. You understand? But every designer has their strength. For me, I'm an Illustrator designer. That's what I am. Though I use Photoshop, I use Figma, but I'm more of an Illustrator designer. And so my Illustrator expertise, I also transfer it to Canva to do beautiful designs. So at the end of the day, if you are getting started, then choose which path you want to go. What kind of design do you want to create? Are you one who is interested in photo manipulations, or you bringing photos to life by coloring or whatever? Then you can start exploring. You get kind of Photoshop, you get for photo. But if you are one, you want to go on digital art, like digital painting, drawing icons like these, then you can go with Illustrator. But either ways, this is my assignment for you, is check what tools are fit for the particular thing you want to do. Do you want to design logos? Do you want to be design let's say flyers, whatever? Just know which one works best. In fact, the best thing I actually do is just explore these tools, not Canva. Canva is not like, it doesn't make you an industry expert. So just explore these tools: Figma, Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe Photoshop. Explore the tools and check out which one would work for you. Anyone that works for you, then you can take 2 or 3 months to explore these tools and see how they work for you. So if you're in Africa, I can share a link for you how you can get the software, Illustrator, Photoshop. But if you're in the Europe, then you just have to buy directly from their website, because of terms and conditions, because of EU laws that covers over there. So this is just the basic explanations I want to give regarding these tools. If you have any questions, you can ask, and when I have the time, I would actually do well to answer. So this is it. The next video is, I will give you a simple principle on getting started in leveling up your appreciation of design. So this is it on this part.